Okay, today we are going to glaze our Mehendi style hand. They've been fired. They're a different material now. They can never go back to being clay, but they are fragile. So they're gonna look exactly the same as when you put them on the cart last week. If there's any little sharp edges, they're gonna stay sharp. But we're going to just glaze the top part of the hand and a little bit of the sides. Do not glaze the bottom of the hand. I have to put them back in the kiln and they have to sit on the shelf. So if we glaze the bottom, they'll stick and then they'll break. Whatever color you choose, you're just gonna use one color, and you wanna get at least 3 coats of that color on your hand. Now the part that I really want you guys to pay attention to are all these little textural details that you added. You kind of have to use your paintbrush to get in those spots so that you really get that color nice and thick on there. Especially these holes, it's looking like they're gonna be a little bit more challenging. Kind of lay the paintbrush on the side and kind of push that paint or that glaze into those holes so that you really get it nice and covered in there. And then a little bit of the sides. We're not gonna do too much of the sides because I don't want that to drip down and get stuck in the kiln. If you accidentally get glaze on the bottom, you can get a sponge that's slightly damp. Don't get it soaking wet because then it'll just wash all over your hand. And then you can just kind of wipe it off. Okay, so you want to at least do 3 coats. That's about 3 coats just in that one little spot. I kind of do one little spot at a time just to make sure I don't forget where I'm at. And you can kind of tell it's nice and thick now. That's covered up. I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's completely finished. Okay, so now it's finished. I've glazed the whole thing. You can see there's no white spots. That looks really good. I'm double checking the back. I don't have any glaze really where the curve is, where it's going to lay flat on the table. If a little bit gets kind of up near the fingertips, that's okay because that won't touch the table. If it touches anywhere on the table and it's got glaze kind of right here in the center, you want to make sure you get that wiped off. Once you're finished, put it on the cart. You can wash your hands. Make sure when you're finished with the paintbrush, you just set it on this little tray. Don't stick it in the cup because then it gets glaze all over the handle and then someone else gets their hands really dirty. And then you're finished.